You gain control of J.K. Rowling's Twitter account for a day. What unnecessary piece of information do you add to Harry Potter lore? Potter Puppet Pals is now canon. Buckbeak is an animagus who is fully intelligent and capable of turning back into a human at any time, but doesn't because it's his fetish. Harry's favorite finger, for no particular reason, is his left index finger. Make the fan theory that the surviving Weasley twin becomes the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka later in life. Snape was a stamp collector. This is the real reason James Potter bullied him. All Hogwarts students are required to take a sex ed course. The teacher, Hagrid. The Sorting Hat was %100 unnecessary for class distribution. Its primary purpose was to get rid of head lice. Ron likes to take all his clothes off when he poops. The composition of the wand means nothing. A wizard could use a plastic drinking straw and it would work just fine, as long as they expect it to work. When you're using the invisible cloak, you're not actually invisible, you're naked. They just choose to ignore you as to not make things awkward. Completely unnecessary. For a brief time in 1956, teenaged wizards used to bewitch vacuum cleaners to use in lieu of broomsticks. Teenage wizards would jack off in front of the hottest moving paintings. Hogwarts in the 60s was a drug-fueled technicolor dancing orgy every night, and the only reason it doesn't come up more often is because not a lot of people clearly remember it. All of the really batshit information, Nagini being a cursed Korean lady, the vanishing shits, the whole cursed child play, all of that was just a Quibbler article. Ozzy no love good, you endearing fruitcake. Harry wakes up in Hogwarts and everyone is gone for Christmas vacation when he has to defend the school from being robbed by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Edit. Silver? Damn. Thanks Yao. D. Harry put his name in the Goblet of Fire. Voldemort's penises also have snake-slit noses. That most people don't play beyond their early 20s because they develop Quidditch asshole. Hagrid tried foe and didn't really care for it. Buckbeak was a metaphor. Fred and George Weasley switched places during the Battle of Hogwarts. When George died, Fred adopted George's life, complete with cutting off his ear, because he figured George wouldn't want him to spoil the joke. At the time of bringing his kids to platform 9 3/4 at the end of the 7th book, Harry is out on bail for wizard tax evasion due to hiring Percy as his accountant. There's a witch writer called K.J. Loring, famous for her Muggle book series Harold Rogers, where the protagonist engages in wacky Muggle adventures. Edit. 48 in Barks notices, and not one Hogwarts letter. After book 2 and the Polyjuice experiments, Ron and Hermione permanently switched places. That the Cauldron Voldemort was rebirthed in during Goblet of Fire used to belong to Horace Slughorn. It was gifted to his favorite student, Tom Riddle, the year Riddle left Hogwarts. Harry and Ron used some of Hermione's hair plus Polyjuice potion to kill some time in the dormitories. I'd double down and declare that some of the older teachers at Hogwarts would forget they were supposed to use toilets now, so occasionally they'd just drop trow and urinate in front of everyone. Voldemort doesn't have a butthole after resurrection. The Loch Ness Monster is someone who tried Polyjuice potion with basilisk DNA. Harry pronounces it Jif, not Jif. The reason Dumbledore didn't bring back Harry's parents with the time turner is because Dumbledore always wanted a son of his own, but then changed his mind a few years later and dumped him at the Dursleys. Underneath the robe, Professor McGonagall is actually two twin dwarfs standing on each other's shoulders. They take turns being on top so the other doesn't get tired. Twilight is absolutely in the same universe. The My Immortal fanfic is now 100% canon. Thank you, JKR. In order to have the feasts so lovingly described, House Elves of Hogwarts had perfected the art of reusing leftovers multiple times. They secretly go to cheap restaurants and learn from muggles. Recently they discovered internet, and now Dean Thomas's mother prints out for them every tip and trick she can find at Frugal Living blogs. Hagrid was a metaphor for the misunderstanding and mistreatment of furries. I'm writing a new book. I'll make her add a lot more lore by bumping community expectations. Harry doesn't have a left pinky toe. It was the only part of him hurt by the killing curse when he was a baby. And then all of us fan theorists will wonder why Lily didn't love his left pinky toe. Muggle orphanages know about magic, and when an orphan shows magical prowess they phone the Ministry of Magic for pickup and leave the baby outside. The ministry hasn't figured out how voicemail works and never come to pick up the children. I don't think I could top the post she made about wizards disappearing their poo with magic before muggles invented toilets. George Weasley I was adopted. Not Fred though. I'd clarify that Dumbledore wasn't really gay, just gay for pay. Figure that way, nobody is happy. Moaning Myrtle was masturbating in the bathroom when she dies, hence the name Moaning Myrtle. She was reported as crying, based on what an ignorant first year claimed. I would 100% post that meme. JK Rowling reveals that you, the reader, were gay all along. But besides that, I would talk about the required procedure behind the pre-plumbing shitting wherever you want then making it disappear thing. Also, WTF JKR. Why couldn't they have had magical outhouses? Why did it have to get weird? The protagonist was actually the flying car and everything, after is just epilogue. Hermione was actually a collective delusion shared by Harry and Ron. I actually always envisioned Dumbledore aggressively asking Harry, maybe even yelling, if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire. Harry was born with a third testicle. There is a Wizarding World version of Magic, the Gathering called Muggles, the Congregation. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Professor Snape was a single mother. Hagrid's dog Fluffy and Mrs. Norris were lovers. The sock that freed Dobby was actually a Potter family heirloom, having been worn by Bobby Charlton in the 1966 FIFA World Cup final. The Potters were very quiet about how they came to acquire it. Harry frequently entered the girls' dormitory. Fred came back as a ghost. Ron grew up to become Ed Sheeran. Voldemort's parents were anti-vaxxers. Ron is adopted and dyes his hair. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. How Hermione really loved pegging Ron after they got married. That the Queen of England is a living Horcrux and that's why she just won't die. Edit. Ooh, shiny. Thanks. Hermione dresses up as a cat girl for Ron, who developed a thing for it before they were dating. Snape was a never nude. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. Thank you for the gilding. Neville Longbottom has a 30.5 centimeter cock. Backquote, the goblins at Gringotts don't have children. They just randomly split one day during a mitosis-like process and then go about their days. Their suits are part of this process, my amazing so. Voldemort was voluntarily circumcised at the age of 18. Ron and Hermione's safe word is mudblood eater, and now my most voted comment is about wizards fucking. Time to put on my band wizard hat and start writing fanfic, I guess. I would make it clear that the Cursed Child is not canon. Dobby's asshole has the same properties as a bag of holding and can expand to accommodate any object, no matter the girth. The Forbidden Forest is forbidden because Dumbledore and Hagrid have an illegal grow-up hidden inside. The Wizarding School is a front to launder money. Hermione has been secretly hoarding corn, yes, as in corn on the cob, in her room, since she was very young. Even after she left for Hogwarts, she continued to hoard corn in her dorm. She never speaks about it, she just quietly collects the vegetable, as if it's second nature. One day, Harry and Ron discovered her corn stash. Since then, they frequently ask her about why she collects corn, but she pretends she never heard that and keeps talking to them about the things they were previously discussing. That the Hufflepuff common room had an orgy pit. Harry was originally supposed to be Latino. Fun HP fact, Ron's feet squeak like clown's feet wherever he walks. It echoes in the halls of Hogwarts. The Homping Willow was gay. Edit. My first gold. Thank you so much. Draco Malfoy is a werewolf. It's already true, but I'd end the debate. http www.dracomalfoysauralf.com/ Harry became a Minecraft Let's Player after he left Hogwarts. Hagrid shaves all his body hair from the neck down. Thanks for the gold/you/Darth Meal. After learning the fact that witches and wizards used to shit on the spot, I don't think there's any more unnecessary info to be added, lol. Harry's great-grandfather is Mexican. The Weasley family car is actually related to Lightning McQueen and Herbie. In the late 90s, an American wizard decided to invent padded grips that a witch or wizard could slip onto their wand for personal preference and a better handle on casting their spells. The product was called a Woody, and Arthur Weasley, with his extensive interest in Muggle items and lingo, was the only one who seemed to find it hilarious. Ron Weasley has the longest cock of the Weasley boys, but not the Jethist.